The ring on your finger right now might be based on a myth that is thousands of years old. Millions of people around the world wear their wedding ring on a specific finger because of an ancient belief that humans once thought was true. But science later proved it was false. Yet we still continue doing it to this day, and what's even more surprising is that this small circle carries a history that began more than 6,000 years ago. So how did the first ring in history begin? Who was the first civilization to wear it? And how did a simple object become one of the most powerful symbols in human history? Let's travel back more than 6,000 years. At that time, there were no smartwatches, no phones, and not even currencies in the form we know today. But humans were always searching for ways to express themselves. They used shells, bones, and stones to create jewelry and ornaments. In ancient Egypt specifically, the first known rings appeared. Surprisingly, these rings were not made of gold, but from reeds, woven plants, and leather. It may seem primitive today, but the idea was already there. A circular loop worn on the finger carrying a special meaning. But why did humans choose the circle specifically? Why not a triangle or a square? For the ancient Egyptians, the circle was something very special. It has no beginning and no end. No matter how you follow its line, you always return to the same point. That's why they considered it a symbol of eternity, immortality, and continuity. Over time, rings began to carry deeper meanings than just decoration. They became symbols of bonds, relationships, and promises. And perhaps that is why the shape of the ring has remained almost the same for thousands of years. As time passed, humans learned how to extract and smelt metals. This marked a completely new stage for rings. Copper, bronze, then gold and silver became the main materials used in their production. Because these metals were rare and valuable, owning a metal ring became a sign of wealth and social status. The more beautiful and complex the ring, the more powerful its owner appeared. Ruling classes began using rings as symbols of power and authority. In Roman civilization, a major transformation occurred. The ring was no longer just decoration. It became almost like an identity card. Nobles and leaders wore rings engraved with personal symbols. When sending official messages, they would place hot wax on the document, then press their ring into the wax. A unique seal would appear, confirming the identity of the sender. In other words, the ring functioned like today's electronic signature. Forging these seals was considered a serious crime, because the ring represented its owner officially. The function of rings did not stop at signatures. Some ancient rings contained a small opening stone. Inside it, tiny secret messages were stored. At other times, rings were used to carry perfumes. Some were even designed to hide small keepsakes or photos. There were also extremely large rings that covered part of the hand, which shows that humans have always found new ways to use this small object. Now we arrive at the most famous part of the story. Why did the ring become a symbol of marriage? In ancient Egypt and later in ancient Rome, an interesting belief spread. People believed there was a vein that ran directly from the ring finger to the heart. It was called the vein of love. That's why they believed placing a ring on this finger connected two hearts symbolically. Today we know that this vein does not actually exist. But the idea was so beautiful and emotional that it survived for centuries. And it became part of marriage traditions around the world. During the Middle Ages, rings became tools of power and authority. Kings and nobles wore large rings decorated with precious stones. Ruby symbolized courage, emerald symbolized wisdom, and diamond symbolized strength and eternity. Sometimes a single ring was worth the fortune of an entire city. Some rings were passed down through royal families for generations, eventually becoming part of the history of entire nations. Today, rings are sold for millions of dollars, not only because of diamonds or rare stones, but because of the stories they carry. The more a ring is connected to a famous person or historical event, the higher its value becomes. Some rings in museums today are older than entire countries. yet they still retain their beauty and story. There is an important question. Why do humans care so much about jewelry in the first place? Scientists believe that decoration has been a way to express identity and belonging since the dawn of humanity. Humans love to tell their story without speaking, and the ring has always been a perfect way to do that. A ring can tell you someone is married, or belongs to a certain family, or carries a special memory, or represents a major achievement in life. In the past, every ring was made entirely by hand. Today, however, technology has entered the world of jewelry. Designers now use 3D software to create rings before manufacturing them. Highly precise machines produce complex designs that were impossible in the past. Still, handmade rings remain among the most valuable because each piece is unique. But the journey of the ring is not over yet. In recent years, smart rings have appeared. Rings that can measure physical activity, monitor sleep, track biological signals. Some can even unlock doors or make electronic payments. Imagine that. The ring that started as a piece of reed thousands of years ago has become a sophisticated electronic device today. A small ring, yet it carries thousands of years of history, from ancient Egypt to our modern world, from a symbol of eternity to a symbol of love and commitment. This is the story of the ring. And now, tell me in the comments, do you wear a ring right now? And what is its story? And don't forget to subscribe to Malamat Saria for more amazing stories hidden behind the everyday things we see.